Hi guys, it's Jim and this is J&R Woodworking. I want to show you what I got done on the deck, and I think this is going to be the last one this year. It's getting too late in the year to do much more. I've got to put the decorative rim joists on to cover up the board ends, and next year we'll be putting the railings up, the stairs, and the stairs going down to the walkout basement. I haven't really figured out what we want to do with that yet, but hey, we got all winter to figure it out. Let's run out there quick and show you what I did. Okay, if you've been watching all these videos on this deck build, this is where we left off on the last one. None of these boards out here were on yet. We were just finishing this cut, and we're gonna start putting the 45s on. Now I want to show you, we're gonna move this. To get these 45s on here, okay, to get started on these, to get these boards on an exact 45, I had nothing to go by except for these little 45s on the end of these boards, which not going to tell you too much. So I started up here in this corner with, this was the first board I put on. I measured from this cut line over to the edge of the deck. That was 85 inches. So I went up to this corner, measured down 85 inches, and made a pencil mark. Then I took a string and I went from that pencil mark up to this corner, and that's an exact 45. And that's where I started the first board. Now from that board this way, I only had one cut to make, and these ends hung over. These boards, I was cutting them on a 45, and they were wedging in against this board and against this edge. And I'll try to show you what most people wouldn't. They would just say, oh, look how nice these joints came out. Well, let me get close and show you what happened to me and what I had to do to get around that problem. I don't know if I can do this without dropping the camera. If you notice, up at the beginning, the first board we put on, these corners, whoops, this corner right here, they came out. But the farther down I went, the worse they got off. Where's a good one? Here's a good one here. See how much longer this board is than this one? And there wasn't much I could do. You can't shove it in any harder because it's tight up against this board. So I started, after I got down here a ways and it kept getting worse, like this one, I started checking the boards to see what is going on. Well, I started measuring the deck boards. Some of these boards were 5 3/8 wide, and some were 5 5/8 wide. Okay, when you take two boards like that, that one is wider than the other board, you cut them both on a 45, you line up the outside corners, and when you come down here, they get off because of the widths are different. So what I did to catch up on some of these cracks so they didn't really get out of hand, down in here, I don't know if I can tip this down anymore. No, I can't. Let me turn this. Down in this area here, I took some of these boards, I think from about in this area they were short enough that I could handle them by myself. I took them in the shop and I ran them through my joiner, and I planed them down a little narrower so the lines would start catching up on me. And I don't know if I've got one down here. When I get down in this area, they start lining up again. But that's just it's what you're going to run into when you try to do 45s like this with treated lumber. It's not the best stuff. Now typically when I build a deck, this is what I do. Let me slide this back a little. I take the boards, the decking boards, I run them out past the rim joist, and I snap a line about an inch past the rim joist, and I cut them off, and that's how I leave them. This style, you cut them flush with the outside rim joist. I don't know if I can, let me move this camera. There you can see where I've started roughing this off. When I get these roughed off, I'll make a final pass and finish that so it's flush with the outside. Then you nail another rim joist on. And that's just for looks. And all it does is hides the ends of the board so you don't see the end grain. That's something new they started in the last few years. Like I said, I never used to do that. I would just let them overhang, cut them off, and you're done. But that's the way this deck was built, and that's the way she wanted to do it. Now you can see I've got it covered up with plastic. There's a couple things I had to do, so I had to uncover this end of it. Well, and plus I wanted to show you that I had the deck top done. I'm going to quit at this point. Next year we're going to put the railings on. I've got, let me move you again. This is a cement slab down here. This used to be a wooden deck, but it was built right at ground level and it just rotted out terrible. So I've got stairs to build here to go from the top down to the concrete. She hasn't decided how we want them yet. We may end up doing round steps or maybe a starburst pattern in the stairs. I'm not really sure. This here is where the old stairs were going down to the walkout basement. I'm not sure if I'm going to replace them at ground level or just build a set of stairs from the top of the deck going down like you normally have. The plastic's here because every time it rains it washes the hill away because it's just sand there. Alright, I'm back in where it's a little warmer. It's kind of chilly out there. I'm going to try to get the rest of the rim joists on the outside just to cover up them ends. And I'm just going to cover it with plastic, and that's all I'm doing this year. If you've watched all these videos, if you're subscribed, you'll remember that last night was the last snapper video on the drivetrain rebuild. I took it out after I signed off and tried it out. Boy, does that work nice. I can't believe how nice that engine runs. If you got any questions, send me an email, jnrwoodworking2, that's the number 2, at gmail.com, or jimsfixitshop@gmail.com. You can ask questions at either one, it doesn't matter, as long as they get to me. Or you can put a notification on the bottom of the videos. I hope you're subscribed. Check me out on Facebook, and give me a couple of likes. Send it around, share it with some people, especially the snapper build. There's a lot of people out there I'd like to reach and let them know that you can fix this thing yourself. They're really simple. And I guess, hey, work safe, have fun, and we'll talk to you later.